Hello everybody, I am Kim and I am here today with my first Booktube video ever. So today I am planning to do the new to Booktube tag created by Between Chapters, and I will link their page in the description below. So let's get started. Question 1 and 2. Where are you from and how old are you? So I live in Alberta, Canada, and I am currently 20 years old. Question 3. Why did you decide to join Booktube? So I absolutely love to read, but I currently don't have very many people in my life who also love to read. I'm also a very shy and slightly socially awkward person, so it's really hard for me to go out and talk to people that I haven't already known for 5 to 10 years. So I figured Booktube would be a fantastic way for me to step out of my comfort zone and meet some fantastic people who love talking about books. So question 4, the meaning behind your channel name. So my channel name is The Paperback Princess, and that comes from, first of all, my love of paperback books over hardcover. They're just so much easier to pack around with you. I love how floppy and nice to read they are, and not to mention they are significantly cheaper than hardcover books. And the princess portion comes from my love of all things fantasy and fairy tale-esque, and let's just face it, I'm pretty much princess, so it's pretty fitting. Question 5, the types of books that you like to read. So the main genres that I love reading are fantasy and paranormal. Question 6, who is your favorite author? I do not have one favorite author, but I have here a couple books written by authors that I have read within the last couple of years and have thoroughly enjoyed. The first being Kelly Armstrong, who wrote the Women of the Otherworld series. She is fantastic for writing extremely entertaining characters with a very fast-paced and engrossing plot. The next author that I thoroughly enjoy is Cassandra Clare, specifically her writing in the Clockwork Angel trilogy. It is just so addictive. You fly through them so fast because you absolutely have to know what happens next. And lastly, an author that I have stumbled upon this summer is Kristen Cashore, the writer of the Graceling trilogy. It's not really a trilogy. She has Graceling, Fire, and Bitterblue. They're all about different characters, but they all kind of intertwine, and she is just so creative. This is one of the most engrossing fantasy worlds that I have read about. I thoroughly enjoyed this and Fire. Fire's set in a slightly different world than Graceling and Bitterblue, but it is equally as fantastic. Question 7, what is the last book you read? So the last book I read was A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, and I do not currently have my copy because I have recently moved into a new apartment and somehow it got lost, which makes me pretty sad because that book was really good. And question 8 is, what are you currently reading? And I am currently reading A Clash of Kings, also by George R.R. Martin. I am 650 pages in. I was planning to be done this today. Clearly I'm not. Hopefully I'll be done it by the end of the week. I'd really like to post a review for this. I'm absolutely loving it. It was a little slow up to about the 300 mark, but it's getting much better, and I can't wait to figure out how it ends. He really knows how to write an ending. Question 9 is, what do you use for bookmarks? So I will literally use anything that is lying around, but my personal favorite thing to use are the magnetic bookmarks, and I have a little bobcat one there that I found, and I just like them because they don't fall out in my backpack and lose my spot. Question 10, show us your TBR pile. My bookshelf. I have so many books I need to read, and I generally don't set books that I need to read every month because I like just going with the flow and reading whatever I am just really in the mood to read. So question 11 is hardcover or paperback, ebook versus physical copy, and owning versus borrowing. So personally, I prefer paperback because they're easier for me to pack around with me to school and shove into my already really full backpack. I definitely prefer a physical copy to an ebook. I find when I read off of a computer screen, I don't pay as good of I do not pay as well of attention. Good as attention? Well, I don't pay as much attention as I do reading a physical copy, and I also tend to remember a lot less. I just generally don't enjoy reading off an electronic screen. And as for owning versus borrowing, I prefer to own my books because I like to highlight in them, sticky note, they're mine. I like to be able to do with them what I like, put my thoughts in there so I remember them later. So question 12, what book series got you into reading? So for me, it was grade 3, Harry Potter. I moved to a new school and they were already halfway through the book, so I finished the book and immediately picked it back up again and reread the entire thing, and I've just been hooked on the magical experience that is reading ever since. So question 13 is, how did you discover Booktube? I discovered Booktube completely by accident last March-ish? On Goodreads, and I saw Booktube and I was like, what is that? I need to see what this Booktube is. So I looked it up, found some fantastic booktubers, and spent a good chunk of exam week watching book hauls. Really productive. So question 14 is, what challenges do you think you will face in starting up your new Booktube channel? For me, it is definitely going to be finding the time to film. I am a university student majoring in immunology and infection, so I spend at least 75% of my week studying. So finding the time in between the excessive amount of studying I do to film will be a challenge, but it will be a fantastic and very enjoyable break in between the studying. Another challenge I will probably face in setting up my new Booktube channel is learning how to edit. I am not a very technologically sound person. Sometimes the simplest things, such as Microsoft Word, give me trouble, so learning how to edit a movie is probably going to be a lengthy process. And lastly, question 15, where else can we find you? I have a Goodreads page and a Twitter account, and I will leave the links for both of those in the description below. So that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, press like. If you would like to see more, press subscribe. And if you have any questions or suggestions or just anything else to add, please comment down below. See you next time.